so here, I don't know if this is greed or just cockiness, or maybe he really wants to try to kill off all these units here, but he's going to end up losing a few frost rooms here, which in hindsight isn't really that big of a deal here. He's kind of got the right to be a little bit cocky, and he's focusing fire all the enemy heroes he can. Shadowhunter just went down by the Demon Hunter. I was watching the Orc's point of view, and I noticed that all his heroes are now units are down. He's got 9 food left. I think that's just his peons he might have hiding. Oh no, he's got 3 grunts, so that's the 9 food right there. 3 grunts left for that orc player. Poor orc player. At least he's staying in it for this whole time, right? So let's take a look at food counts. The blue undead player just had a TP out. He has a blue undead player 71 out of 100 food, and soon he's going to get 90 out of 100. Again, he's just mass producing out of those out of the boneyards when he has the resources available. He's just going to make more and more of those boneyards and continually producing gargoyles from all his 3 crypts. At this point in the game, I think he's making those gargoyles just to kind of counter the imminent frost worms from the orange player. However, it doesn't necessarily matter. Well, you know, I guess he needs it. He only has 1 gargoyle left out of those few that he had earlier, so. So his Night Elf player actually has a really easy job here. All he has to do is item up and kind of just control his Night Elf here, kind of Dota style with his just his Demon Hunter. You notice they just did finally item up that Lich now. Lich is obviously a really good target for most 2v2 teams, especially when he just comes out. His lower HP unit, although he can be coiled, he still goes down relatively quickly, so it's nice to item him up. I don't know if necessarily putting Cloak of Flames on the Lich is a good idea because he's in the back lines, and typically Cloak of Flames is better on melee units that are going to be melee heroes. They're going to be up in kind of the the main part of the fight there. So 97 out of 100 food now for the blue player, and 50 out of 80 for the orange player. So food counts alone, it's pretty much over there. And now we have 2 expansions going up, or another expansion going up for the pink Night Elf player to continually feed resources again to that blue player. He's not lost. Sorry, I was thinking of an upkeep situation there for a second, but it doesn't really matter when the Night Elf player feeds the undead player the resources, because if he's in the high upkeep like this, he's still going to be. Oh, that was kind of a good creep check there. He did get town portaled out, but now they're just chasing down these 3 low HP grunts. Poor Keen Eyes, green orc player, trying to lose his units to the creeps to try to deny some experience to his enemies there, but pretty folly. Now no units left for that orc player. Nothing. Completely emaciated, completely useless in this. Game has been over for a good amount of time. It's just kind of cleanup work here. So we're going to see this last fight go on relatively quickly here, and what I want you to notice is something that you don't get to see in very many games, which is why I want to even continue watching this game to the very end, is you're going to see frost worms in action here. We have a lot of frost worms. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 6 frost worms. 6, 7, 8 frost worms maybe? I don't know, a lot of frost worms. And basically these frost worms have the frost attack now that have been upgraded, the freezing breath. And that freezing breath is going to lock all these ziggurats, just like I said before, and the Black Citadel in ice to where they can't fire their abilities. He doesn't do it initially. He puts a lot of mass focus fire on the first boneyard up here, and then he puts a lot of focus fire on the Black Citadel. But once he realizes that all these zigs are actually doing a little bit of damage, he decides to spread out his he targets each ziggurat individually with a specific frost worm. He just starts attacking normally, and there's nothing that they can do to that. 1 or 2 fiends, a few fiends out there. Actually, he's got like 5 or 6 fiends, so that's not a pretty good fiend army, but not enough to counter all this stuff. So yeah, it's been over for a little while. The gold mine has just run out, and it's just finally getting to something. So you notice timing in the situation. Blue undead player and the pink Night Elf player decided, heck, it's time to finish this. His gold mine's running out. We know he doesn't have an expansion. We can end it right now just by going in there and auto-attacking on the ground and common finishes, although he did do a little bit of micro to stop those ziggurats. Alright, so this game's over. Hope we learned a little bit about how the strategy works. And I want to go over another replay using this strategy, and you guys can go ahead and get this file synced up again. The second replay file synced up at the 30-second mark again at the 1x speed, and we'll go over the build order one more time so you guys can kind of have that fresh in your mind. And basically this is going to be the same team, Night Elf and Undead versus Dual Undead. And in this strategy we're actually going to see a little bit more pressure put on the Undead player, to kind of see how it counters it a little bit. So this is on Goldshire, by the way, which is a map that not a lot of games actually get played on, but it's a really popular 2v2 map. So if you're starting to play 2v2s, try to kind of practice this map a good amount. So 30-second mark on the second replay. I'm getting synced up myself. Just give me a second here. So we're going to go ahead and unpause in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. So yeah, like I said about this game, I'm going to talk to them by their colors again. So we have the yellow undead player and the, we'll say, teal night elf player. And we have a purple undead player and a green undead player. So from the green undead player, we're going to see a standard Goul start, but we're actually going to see that Goul start with Dreadlord, which you don't actually see too much. But if you're going to have a mirror match, if you're going to have a mirrored teammate, so obviously the dual undeads, it's nice to kind of have that versatility. You're going to have one Death Knight, you're going to have either a Lich or something else different on the other time. Dual Death Knights, don't get me wrong, is a kind of a cool strategy. You can coil each other and stay alive for forever. And dual coil is definitely something to be feared, especially in the late game when you're kind of around the level 2 or level 3 of that ability. It gets really, really scary. But in this game, we're going to see the orange undead or the purple undead player going for a fiend build, and the green undead player going for the Goul build. And you notice again, we got that same build order. I kind of wanted to go over it, and I forgot to go over it, but this is basically where you're going to see the your first 3 wisps, or all your wisps are going to go to gold in the beginning, and then you're going to be taking them off individually to kind of do this build order. So one of your starting wisps starts building your altar as the Night Elf player, obviously. And then when that guy's done building the altar, you can immediately quay him to the gold mine, or quay him to the gold mine. When your first wisp comes out of your tree of life there, go ahead and produce him, send him to lumber. This is just like before. And then send your second wisp that comes out right to the lumber. Now one of your starting wisps now from gold should be switched to lumber as well. So from the first part of the game until you like a little bit before you get your demon hunter out, you're only going to have like 3 wisps on gold. The more important thing is here is lumber production early on for this Night Elf player. So kind of watch the replay a few times, kind of figure out what works best for you guys. Maybe if you have a different situation where you want to kind of adapt the situation to your own race, but figure out what's the best way to get your lumber production going on your to your teammate there. So you can start. So hold on, let me go ahead and kill that cell phone. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I'm a popular guy, I guess. Alright, back to the other commentary. We're going to go back to the undead player's build order as well, and he's actually kind of come to fruition with it right now. You notice as soon as he finishes Tier 2, I mean the timing on this is impeccable. He finishes Tier 2 before his hero comes out. His hero's going to come out right as his Tomb of Relics finishes, and his